Once your messaging is dialed in really well, and you know what freebies, like the free resources people want the most, 60 to 70% of the calls that your team will come from inbound. So everything that we're doing, we're trying to get mobile calls, yes, but we're trying to optimize for inbound. If we can do that, then it's just this unlimited cycle of leads. Because with outbound, you're kind of capped at around 70 to 100 new leads per day and like 100 follow-up. But with inbounds, because they've started the conversation with you, your team has literally unlimited amount of leads. So we start off now on 2. Like as of tomorrow, we'll onboard the team. But you can have 3, 4, 5 just around the clock. So there's literally zero lack of coverage. Right now we'll have 2. Maybe both of them doing like 6 hours a day each at 12 hours. But yeah, we're still going to have 12 hours when no one's manning the DMs. If we can get the inbounds maximized, we can get on another 2 VAs. Fine. So you have unlimited amounts of leads, complete coverage, and it's sorted. So the plan for April is to get us to that point, or at least build a foundation where we're like 1 ad away from like skyrocketing the inbounds. So the way that we do this first is you and I are just going to go over your avatar questions again and decide what messaging you want to go all in on, like the 2 or 3 angles, right? More importantly, like I mentioned to you before, is trying to figure out what stuff are you happy with already? What do people like about you? What do people know you for? We're not going to change that, but where can we like amplify this? So to kick off with phase 1, what angles so far have you really experimented with that gel well with you, and which ones do you not really vibe with?
Gel well and have tested and experimented, mainly being able to get it shaved without or with eating foods like pizza, cookies, enjoying social media, meals with family. That's very much a basic angle. And the other basic angle is like eating those foods that meals.
Yep.
For a long time and your minds. If you can address and fix your relationship with food and how you see those foods, that loss becomes more so on autopilot because you no longer have more value. It's just nutrients in, nutrients out, calories in, calories out, but in a way that's not overhauling your life. Nothing to be super obsessed about, but just implementing a very simplistic way to manage your calorie. Angles that I don't feel comfortable with yet. I'm not sure if this is an angle, but yeah, as you know, I'm not very confrontational. I've tested angles where I'm kind of like stitching another creator and the principles that they live by, but
That's not bad actually. Like that format of you disagreeing with somebody isn't bad at all.
yeah.
But we need to make the distinction between an angle and a format. So the angle is like your message, what you believe, right? The format of you reacting to people disagreeing, I think is really good. I saw one of yours the other day, which I thought was so good. It was where you were like breaking down some chick.
Was it a divorce effect?
Maybe. She was
Yeah.
explaining something about, how like she's the one person on earth where a calorie deficit. Was that the one?
Yeah, that was a lot.
That one was great. That was really solid. So I thought the format was great. But uncomfortable angles. So I'm going to challenge you on this one in a second. But anything else uncomfortable that either you didn't gel with or you noticed your audience didn't gel with?
I recently stitched an AI video.
Yeah. The guy, like the older guy that got jailed.
That was one before. That one got positive because I was actually revealing that it's AI. I just did a recent one where it's like another lady with a divorce effect where she got in shape. But I purposely left out that I knew it was AI so that people comment
That's
like, hey,
smart.
like why are you breaking? Like why are you stitching an AI video, bro? Like this is probably me the wrong way. And it's like I don't get a lot of those video comments regularly, but when there's multiple, like 2 or 3 comments where it says, "Hey, I didn't like this one," that makes me confident.
Interesting. Okay.
I knew I was being tricky. Yeah, I had a feeling it would, rub people the wrong way, but I still did it just to test
Okay.
how it would be like.
So, are you saying you don't feel comfortable when you kind of get like the hate comments?
Correct.
Okay.
That's just my personality.
Okay. And I totally get that as well, right? I've been in the game a while. I've gotten a bunch of hate comments. It never feels great. To challenge you on this, right? I don't necessarily have the stance of be controversial just for the sake of it and to generate more attention. But I do believe is taking a stance and what you're like 100% all in on, and understanding that if people are going to be in the comments angry and upset about it, that is probably the best sign of market resonance. Because you have to understand, for someone to take time out of their day to comment something negative, whatever you said stirred up some emotion in them, and it was just so effective. That to me is the gold standard, that your message is doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because for every like one person that really disagrees with it, there's either an equal amount or more people that agree with it that are just silent. That's who we want.
Agreed.
So,
Because I think my education piece on those Stitch videos are actually quite good.
yeah.
And so if people just start following me and they see that I'm stitching an AI video, of course they're going to have something to say.
Yeah.
But my audience who knows who I am, again, he's going to stitch this video, but he's going to come with something I actually value.
Right. So I think that is fine, right? It's like having a strong stance, like a controversial stance, but backing up with real education. That's what will separate you. I think if you really think about what it means to follow someone, I was telling you this a while ago. When people are following someone, it means you are a leader in some area of their life that they look up to. They want to follow someone who's fighting for something and against something. If you take a weak stance on any kind of point, it doesn't really inspire people to listen to you, to comment, to message you back, because why do they really need to pay attention? If you're kind of in the middle, you're lukewarm, that isn't really a definition of a leader, is it?
It's true.
So if we're going to make your message hit harder, you have to decide, what are you going to take an uncomfortable stance on, knowing full well people are going to be upset at you. But again, for every one person that's upset, there's equal amount or greater that are all in your corner. Like, yeah, wow, I've been waiting for someone to champion this message. I can look up to Darren for this. Right. No one else is saying this. I thought I was the only crazy one. This is the guy I want this. So I don't think confrontation is bad if it's backed up with education. So in terms of that, what out of here, because I know when I sent the Loom you mentioned, there were a few that you liked. I'm pretty sure it's the green one too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the ones that feel strongly about, kind of like the hill I die on type stuff.
Yep.
And the yellow one was just uncomfortable, but I think again, after talking to you, that's exactly the emotion that we want to bring us to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hill I die on is that everything is your fault. Obviously, it's not like, you are the reason why you're bad, but however way you got here, it is take the responsibility to take agency. And in my community, my school community, they always appreciate that message. They always say, good, hey there, I don't want to work out today, but you're in my head, and you're always saying, nobody cares how you.
That's sweet. Fantastic.
Say, you as a clerk.
Yeah. Let me ask you then, what's your beliefs around what it is to be a strong leader in your household, with your family, your wife, for your child, and what are your core beliefs around that?
Core beliefs, mainly taking agency, taking ownership, being emotionless about the word. Whether you're winning, whether you're losing, you still have to put your head down. Meaning we don't get too high on the lows, but we also don't get too low on the highs.
So stoic.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a bit more kind of aggressive questions, right? If you see some like that thought kind of guy, whatever, with his family, he's got a wife and kid as well, what's the immediate thought that runs through your mind? Is it sympathy for the wife? Is it kind of in your mind bashing the fat guy? What is it?
It used to be instant mashing. It used to be instant matching because it used to be because I used to believe that's mainly about controlling your calories and controlling your food and while then moving. Why can't you do that for your family?
Right. Yeah.
But then as I mature in fitness, I realize there's so many elements when it comes to getting in shape. There is emotional ties to people. People stress eat. People have come from upbringings where their aunties called them fat all the time, or they praised when they got really skinny. And so all these things, or disordered eating behaviors, or their parents always say, "Don't eat this because it's going to make you fat." Things like that caused emotional instability around food, putting too much moral value on food. And seeing where these fat dads are right now, it's not entirely their fault. My initial reaction is yes, I actually feel bad when they're family, because when the dad doesn't have full control of their lives, because I really believe that in order to have full control of your life and your period, everything, you have to take care of your health first.
Yeah.
I really believe that if you don't have that handle, everything else is going to go to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that kid is not going to have the most present dad. Sometimes even I get tired after 10 minutes of play with my child. Really fit. Because I'm exhausted from work as well. So imagine a dad that's exhausted from work, stressed from work, and then he comes home and then has a over fat, low energy body. He won't last 2 minutes with the kid. And so if the kid has a father that's not present, then that's going to damage the kids, I guess, confidence or ability to have a solid role model to look up to, and then towards their friends or something on social media or influencer.
Yeah.
Normalize the values, and I just think it's a slippery slope when I say fat dad.
Yeah. So I appreciate your empathy for people that are overweight. Let me ask you, in terms of the people that you actually want to work with, are most of your clients and people that you enjoy working with people that have had some kind of either traumatic upbringing or a poor relationship where you feel like genuinely it wasn't their fault and they need to not be coddled, but they need to be like softly, gently pushed to finally take the action? Or do you prefer to work with people that are a little bit, like you said, have more agency, where they realize, look, no matter what the past was, I need to be in control now. I can't let my family down.
Definitely the latter.
Okay, so even though you have empathy for these people, do we want to attract people that need to be coddled and babied?
They're the worst kinds.
There you go, said it yourself. So what does that mean in terms of our messaging? What should we be actively against? What should we be trying to repel?
Yeah, to repel people that are
soft.
Yeah. So
That need to be babied. Oh, it's not your fault, it's not your fault. Fine. Maybe in the past when they didn't have agency, when they were, a kid, sure, maybe it isn't their fault. But you're a grown goddamn adult. Fine, in the past is not the fault. But what has stopped you from getting the solution now?
no. Yeah.
You're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, you've got a family. What has stopped you? If you're any kind of adult with autonomy, what has stopped you? And it's usually excuse. We don't want this, dude. So in your messaging, who are you trying to repel from your family, repel from your community? It's those people.
Yeah.
You want to, and like you said, your community is on fire for this message right here. Everything is your fault, responsibility. You want those people that believe that in their core.
Absolutely.
So actually, what you should be, would say, talking shit on, but you shouldn't be afraid to push on, are the people that are soft, that have always been coddled their whole life. I give this example to the other guys in Mastermind. It's like when you're talking to somebody on the sales call, if it's excuse after excuse, objection after objection, you have to understand how that person has been conditioned their whole life. If you look at the average fat person, who are they surrounding themselves with? Probably other or fat people that have never made a strong decision to change their life. That's probably who they're wrong. They're used to being coddled. It's alright, it's just one bit. Excuse after excuse. So the only way to literally save that person's life is to kind of go in the direction of the objection that, you know, it's not your fault, but there's a better way. Or just be like, you have to fucking make a stand.
Yeah.
Right? And judging from what we've been talking about, you don't want to go leave that first round. What about, so I think the angle of like sympathy for the kid and for the wife, that's really strong as well. Who is that going to resonate with? People that feel a sense of responsibility for their family. So you're going all in on like, what kind of father is your kid going to grow up? How are you going to be talked about, right?
Yeah.
Your kid's friends. Are you going to be known as the fat, slow dad? Or are you going to be known as, well, my dad's the strongest, got the biggest biceps?
No.
Who are you going to be known as? So that angle is really strong. Is there anything else that kind of like triggers you? Because you made different decisions in life, Darren. Like, you're not fat. You're not sluggish. You're not slow. Why? Like, the only reason you are the way you are is because you, for your own life, forget like your audience for a second. For your own life, you took an aggressive stance in some way. So what triggers you when you see someone else, even if it's a, you know, overweight chick, whatever? What triggers you is like, man, I could never do that.
Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, it's mainly about leading by example. I've always been a leader all my life. I captained my basketball team. So my passion for not letting other people down is a huge reason why I cannot let up on myself. I know a lot of people are relying on me, even more now with my family. I know my friends look up to me as a role model now, more so. And if I want to, you know, keep that reputation, I have to keep the standard very high for myself. So, yeah, as vain as it sounds, I don't want to be average in the eyes of.
Right. Okay. And the way that you're talking about it, it is obviously something that, like, it's a core part of you. I can tell if you go all in on these kind of angles, you'll be able to talk about stuff with conviction. You won't like beat around the bush with it and be like, stop, because it's you, right? You want to attract people that at least believe the same choices. They might not look like you yet, but they can believe the same things as you. That is like the whole essence of what it is to build some kind of community or culture, is they believe the same, that they have the same kind of values. So maybe this is all true for your average busy profession. In their career, they've led by example. They don't let their clients down, You're trying to bridge that gap. Is that, hey, how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you believe this in your business or in your career, you can't stop short on your health now. Your family might not necessarily be depending on you the same way a client does, but they're depending on you to be active, strong, a role model, a leader in all things. Sure, you're paying the bills and putting food on the table, but what about your health? If everything goes away, what are you left in? So you're trying to bridge this gap, like how do you run things, how do you everything? And this, by the way, I really love this because it's not just that you're telling people about this all the time, is that you have to show this in your content. And you do a pretty decent job of this. Especially like when you're interviewing people, right? When you're showing your family, playing basketball. This is all good. We can do this so much more in carousels. Carousels. That's the main thing. Because if every time they swipe, they see what their future could look like, who else are they going to follow? Some random kid that helps busy professionals? Or you, who's literally living that life, like to the T. Right? So we're going to be talking about this, but you need to show it a lot more. Outside of family, even when it comes to friends.
Yeah, the people I choose to have.
Yeah, it's a bigger.
I don't have any out of shape friends. And the reason for that,
Strong stance.
because everybody that beats me or my friends, I think there is a subconscious feeling that there is a high bar to kind of. And I tell people all the time, but the reason why I have very confidence because my support is strong, you're self-intelligent. they share a lot of information. They're so well connected. And so there is a pretty high standard to be in this. Most of the people in our circle are not out of shame. And they're big reasonably.
Super strong stance. So now, let's say I'm one of your viewers listening to this, and maybe I'm not in as amazing shape as you, right? Without feeling like you're an elitist, what is your advice to people in that out of shape stage? What's the message you want to leave them with? Is it that you should elevate your friendship circle as well for XYZ? What is your advice to people here?
Yeah, my advice is that you need to pour into yourself and develop skills and develop certain character traits and qualities so that you attract a high quality network, and you will develop a lot of those skills, a lot of the confidence, a lot of those habits through getting your health in shape. Because 10 years time, the real status will not be fancy cars or big houses. It's like, it's your body. Because it's something you cannot fake. You can fake being rich, you can fake being nice, but you cannot fake being healthy. And once you step in the room, you have broad shoulders, it's not overly fat. This says a lot, right? This says you put in the work, you're quite consistent, you're quite disciplined, because everybody knows they're getting in shape is not a hard mistake, especially this day and age. So in order to have access to high level levels, one's will by yourself first, because that's the only way you're going to attract people, because it's real recognized, real tech.
Yep. So now the ultimate question, why should someone want to change their friend group?
Opportunities, more access to, again, business opportunities. Well, I mean, we can always tie it to like Jeff Bezos and some successful people in the world take care of their bodies, Mike Zuckerberg. Why? You get a lot closer to being aware of what your potential actually is. When you hang around people like that, because you can see the fruits of their labor. They're getting their bodies in shape, translating that into successful businesses. And so the only way to level up is to level up. Yeah. Because you are the average of, they say that 5 years.
So the thing here is there's so many different angles inside of this message. So you personally don't hang out with out of shape friends?
Naturally, yeah.
Naturally, right? Another angle here is to say like your friends are holding you back. It's a very strong angle. Right. Again, like what I was saying, most people on the sales calls, they are conditioned because their friends and family are just like them. Why would their friends and family encourage this one person to be better than them? Someone wants. You're going to get kicked out of the tribe, And so the whole point there is your friends are keeping you stuck because misery loves company. They want you to stay stuck. They don't want you to win. But the people that do want you to win are people that are above you. The only way to get into those groups is to improve yourself first. But your friends are holding you right.
Let me tell you a big story. The flip side. I have a family friend back in Toronto who I brought over to Bangkok and said, let me run my restaurant. Right? And I didn't really hang out with him back in Canada, but I got to know him a little bit deeper after working 1 year with him. And automatically he was in my circle. Got introduced to all my friends. And then I quickly realized that he is the opposite of somebody I would hang out with. Yeah. Talks a lot about himself, but stacks zero evidence that he is the person he says he is. Right. And so I was challenging him a lot. So I'd do like tough workouts with him to see what kind of excuses he would come out with. And there's always excuses. He would even sometimes send me a random message that, okay, long story short, I contacted him. Like I broke the partnership up, bro. It totally cut him out of my life.
Whoa.
I talked to him zero, bro. I email him now whenever I need to be. He gets help for immigration stuff, and I don't invite him anywhere. Like he's just somebody that not aligned with me at all, and I'm a little bit embarrassed that I brought him. And so he had access to my number. He had an opportunity to prove himself that he's actually, a very genuine guy that works hard.
Yeah.
Showed me the complete opposite.
Yep.
And so I immediately kind of.
Yeah.
So now he no longer has access.
Yeah. Strong.
That's just the way it is. That's the way the ball rolls.
I totally get that. Yeah. But can you see what I'm saying? Like, if we're looking for fucking strong angles, there you go. Just like from your own story. What could be stronger than that? Like, what you're saying here is not just all thought, like, that's the perfect story for it. That shows, like, it is such a strong core belief that governs how you make decisions, the life that you live. That makes, damn. That's what people need to hear more. Now, are you going to get people bashing you and disagreeing in comments? Or fuck you. But that's exactly what we want almost. It's like, that's the golden sign that what we're saying is triggering people. Jokes are only funny when it's not true. For example, if someone called you fat, you'd laugh at all.
Yeah.
But if someone said something that was a deep insecurity of yours, you get offended.
Yeah.
So the comments reveal whose is worse.
I believe that.
Which is fantastic.
I pray for this bitch.
Yeah.
Sad inside.
Yeah. But that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. That's like the gold standard. So this is like a phenomenal angle right here.
Imagine my hook. I don't have any bad friends. That's too strong for me. That's too strong for me.
Yeah. You can
Something like that,
You can round the edges of that one a bit. But yeah, so we've got even more we can unpack. So family, friends. If you just like analyze the average person, what is near and dear to the average person's heart? What's family and friends?
Wealth.
Yep.
Status.
Status is a good one. Insecurity is huge.
Yeah.
Everyone's got insecurities. If you can find a belief of yours around particular insecurities that you're all in on, that's going to really stir the pot. So, what are like the common insecurities for people? And we get even different. GPT, this motherfucker.
Knowledge, not being like
Status, belonging, competence, control, so appearance, physical image, not being attractive, body fat, comparing themselves to others, losing youth. Yeah, that's strong. Financial status. Yeah, I think this is more if you're like a business code.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really. Yeah. Social validation. Hello, fear of being judged, not being liked or respected. Respect is a huge one, especially for your power community.
low competence in social situations.
Yeah, that's right. Fear of being judged or rejected. I think these two are very important. Intelligence and confidence. Feeling not smart enough. Imposter syndrome. Fear of being exposed. Not really, no. Not being lovable. Oh, this is going to get heavy. Fear of abandonment and betrayal. Not feeling good enough for your partner. That's not being consistent with procrastination, like very being weak or lazy. What are your thoughts?
My initial thought is, if I would do a pull-up, if I do real as I'm not being good enough for my partner or my wife, probably think I'll talk about her. I think I'm a little too hard on her in the past.
Yeah.
She feels she's not adequate.
Really? Okay. I think you can, it depends how you spin it, but you can use that for your female audience. Because you help men and women, don't you?
Yeah, mostly women actually.
Most
60-70%. They resonate with me a lot.
very interesting.
Yeah, my biggest fans in my school community are all women. Like they fucking pray about it. It's great. It's like very interesting.
This, let me just spitball here, right?
Yeah.
You tell me if you think this is like maybe a step too far, or if you think your wife would be okay with it. But you almost telling like anecdotal stories about how your wife felt or her decision to want to better herself because of insecurities and feelings like Chaz had. And that would relate directly to the female audience. Like, you're not just kind of talking to them, oh, you're a chick, you should feel bad, and shit like that. It's like, oh, like my wife was in a situation for someone that we knew, da-da-da-da-da. Do you think your wife would be comfortable with that or not really?
I think she would be.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's also interesting that a lot of my female clients, they are becoming the Roth of their household because their husbands are actually they're lazy. And I have a lot of stress in that. And they need to do interviews.
Oh, that's huge. I don't know how to write that. Was feeling right with Roth of their household.
It's like they didn't know they would become the example for their family.
Yeah.
Like getting yourself in shape. But then now their husbands are asking them how to track their food and stuff. They feel so awesome about it.
Yeah,
Like
sense
these
of
better-
empowerment.
Yeah.
Is it to the point where they start to feel resentment for their husband? Or wow.
Maybe like, why did you do this? You should be able to
Yeah.
straight.
You know what that is? That's a 2-for-1 deal. You get the wife on, she'll close her husband. Easy as. That's
Had that before.
yeah.
We transformed the female doctor as it's her or her husband came on board after. And he didn't do shit.
I feel like this is gonna lead to divorces.
Would be, you know? Like, oh shit, I'm capable of this, but you're not.
Yeah.
When you bring into the table,
On the flip side of that is, so wives feeling like the rock of the household because the husband was lazy, and then husbands not being the man their wife thought they were marrying.
two birds.
Yeah. So you can see you've got a lot of like core beliefs here that you can talk about. Essentially what we want to do, and we've kind of wrapped up this one. Essentially, what I want you to do is just similar to what we did in that learn, is kind of just go through and find the stuff that you really want to talk about. If you're not too sure exactly, the module I'm going to send you as we're now getting ready to set up your retargeting ads was actually from the live event we did at Mastermind, which, by the way, we're doing a Cape Town event in, I think, July or August. Ooh, if you can. It might be a bit tough, but
How many people on your team you say we?
I think that'll be around, it's very intimate, maybe like 6 or 7 of the guys come through.
It's awesome though. That's also one of my dreams.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. We did the last one in Pattaya in November. That was sick. That was such a great time. So this module is from that. All the retargeting stuff is here. So I'll just get you to watch this. You can read through what the overall strategy is. It's adjusted ever so slightly, but the core principle remains the same. That what we're trying to do is not so much here the objective of identifying which ads convert best for top, middle, 100. It's not so much that anymore. Is in general which message resonates with your entire audience. So that's the only main adjustment we've done here. But you can see for like our top of funnel ads, we're testing the messaging. So here, you don't need to train like you're an athlete to fit in your 30s. Take it from us, we used to carry around the excuse of having no time for our fitness. We had full-time careers, a family to provide for, and life didn't seem to slow down. It led us to becoming unfit, disappointed, It's only when we discovered a new way to train that not only helped us get in the best shape of our lives in our 30s, but only required 30 minutes a day. Since then, we've helped 200 plus busy professionals lose weight, build a body they're proud of, want to learn exactly how, follow us. So that's one message, right? They had 5 different variations of this, as you'll see in the thing here. And so what you want to do, I just want you to watch this through. And as you're listening through this, take a look back on these core beliefs, what we did earlier, and see, we're only looking for 5. What core beliefs do we want to test? Is it going to be making the husbands feel bad for not being the husband they thought the wife was going to marry? Is it appealing to the wives who are now having to be the rock for their family? Is it about wanting to elevate your friend group, right? Is it going to be everything is your fault, we need to take responsibility? What are our 5 core angles? We can even go back to this and take it up. Once you know that, obviously just send it through to me, and then we go through this process together. Like, either we're going to be in person or on a Zoom call to actually set up the ads. But in terms of creating this, once you find what the core 5 angles are, you can go through and just like make very simple kind of stories like this. You want to post them live, we're going to use these as the retargeting ads.
Yeah.
And then the next stage for us is to associate the freebie with the message. So for here, it was I developed an easy hack that allows me and my clients to eat junk food and enjoy sweet treats while losing weight. I call it the calorie banking method, and I put together a free guide showing you exactly how it works. Okay? So if one of your angles as well is just about like you're fighting against the aggressive way to do things, the aggressive diets, then yours would be like, me and my clients eat cookies and chocolate, and we love our lives. And that's only because we have the right protocol when it comes to eating junk food, So I put together this thing if you want it. So all in all, with our top of funnel and our middle of funnel retargeting, we're going to find what message resonates, which resource they want most. And this is like, the bottom of funnel is really easy as well. But for these two, we're going to know exactly what we need to go all in on for your reels. And then good to go.
Awesome.
Sound good?
This post is probably my highest engagement for a client testimonial
Really?
ever.
Good stuff. Love that.
Yeah, usually these don't get more than 20 likes. No one really cares about it.
Yeah, that's great. Happy with that. What your VAs will be able to use in certain circumstances is if they're talking to somebody that looks similar to this, like when they started, they can send that through. Yeah, it's easy to sell. But we're just getting started, man. This is scraping.
Yeah, it feels like I am starting from scratch, which is good.
Yeah?
Cool. I've got pretty far, just waiting.
Which I was telling you the other day, like I was so fucking impressed with it. Like you've literally done so well, just taking the base levels. Yeah, no structure.
Just hard work and consistency that's my MO, bro.
So yeah,
If I have someone, the structure, okay, I think. Yeah.
Good. So you feel like this is more nitty gritty.
For sure. Okay. Exactly what I mean.
Good stuff, man. Good.